About a year and a half ago, I went on an amazing adventure with 3 shepherds from Kyrgyzstan. And in this video, I'm going to tell you about that experience. So in the summer of 2019, I traveled to Kyrgyzstan to volunteer at a guest house for 3 weeks. I stayed with this amazing family in their cute little guest house, where I got to help with ironing their bed sheets, with checking in and out guests. I helped a little bit in the kitchen, and I got to paint some things in their gardens. I had an amazing experience staying with this family, and I got to experience some nearby cool sights when I was there. I explored the town of KYRGYZ where they lived, and I went on some amazing treks in the nearby mountains. And the landscapes would change drastically as you turned every corner. I saw red mountains, I saw pine trees, I saw valleys filled with flowers, I saw a lot of horses and yurts. And one day, the dad of the family sat me down and he said, I hear that you've worked and volunteered a lot with horses before, and that's a huge passion of yours. And he said that he had some kind of relative who worked with horses about 2 hours away from them, and he asked if I wanted to go visit them for a couple of days. And of course I said yes. So I took a marshrutka from their village to the relative's village, and they welcomed me with open arms. I got a beautiful room to stay in, and they fed me and all of that. And on the evening when I arrived, the man in that house, he asked me, tomorrow we're going to fetch the horses from the spring pasture. Do you want to come? And again, of course I said yes. I had no idea what to expect, but of course I said yes. So the next morning we woke up and we started packing for the day. And they asked me to bring warm clothes and also rain clothes. And I looked up at the sky and I was like, it's really warm outside and the sky is blue. So why do I need this? But anyway, I packed it and we left. I had no idea what to expect. So we went to the stable, we took 4 horses and we put the saddles on them and put them in the truck. And then we drove away. And then we stopped in the middle of nowhere. The owner of the stable left us. Me, 3 Kyrgyz shepherds with very, very limited English, and 4 horses. I asked, so where are the horses? And they said, just up in the forest. And I looked up and I was like, okay, that's a very steep way to get there. But we started riding. And I have never seen a horse walk a steep hill like that before. And even less with a rider on the back. And even less with me on the back. I'm a very experienced rider. I've been riding since I was very little. But still, that made me a little bit scared. So we rode up the side of the mountain and we rode into the forest. And then we continued through the forest. We crossed a river and we just continued going up and up and up. And these shepherds were so nice to me. We started singing together. They would sing me a Kyrgyz song about horses and I would sing them a Swedish song about horses. And when we got to the other side of the forest, we stopped for a lunch break. So the horses got to rest a little bit, we got to eat a little bit, and I got a flower from one of the shepherds. I now started understanding why they asked me to pack all of the clothes, because it was getting kinda cold. And also it had started raining a little bit because we had gotten into the clouds. After a while we started riding again, and we were still going straight up. And after a while they told me that we had reached an altitude of 3,500 meters. And that's when it started to snow. We still rode up and up and up, and I could see the snow-covered mountaintops getting closer and closer. And at last we found the 33 grazing horses in a valley at the mountaintop. We rode around them and we started herding them down. And that's when it hit me that we had to ride back down again. If I was scared on the way up, I was so scared on the way down. I had to put all of my trust in this horse. And I know he was brought up on the mountain and he had been walking there all his life, but still, what if he put one foot in the wrong place? We would both fall down. So I was so scared, but I completely trusted this horse because that was the only thing I could do. And the same thing with the shepherds. I had to trust that they would take me down the right way. And of course, they had also grown up on the mountain, so I wasn't too worried. But I was scared. And finally, after 5 hours, we were back at the stable. My bum was hurting worse than ever, and I was more scared than I had ever been. But I had also been on the most amazing ride of my entire life. I had never seen landscape like that, and never even dreamed of riding in a place like that. And I am eternally grateful that the owner of the stable let me tag along, and that the shepherds let me interrupt their working day like that, because I guess I slowed them down a little bit. Anyway, there is no moral to this story. I just wanted to tell you of an experience I had with 3 complete strangers in the middle of nowhere, because I was spontaneous enough to say yes to adventure.